For Module 15.1, we are going to describe the advantages and disadvantages of organizing a partnership. So, a partnership is a legal business structure consisting of an association of two or more people who contribute money, property, or services to operate as co-owners of the business. So, it's very, very simple and easy idea to wrap your brain around. Characteristics of a partnership is a formation of agreement. The agreement, whether in writing, which is preferred, or oral, should specify who contributes assets or services, who performs what functions of the business, and how profits, losses, and compensation will be allocated. It sounds really simple in the beginning, like, hey, let's go into business together. You contribute $1,000, I'll contribute $1,000. That's great, but most of the time you are not coming together with the same amount of money, the same amount of assets that you're bringing to the business. Maybe the partner owns the building, but you know how to run the equipment that is going to offer the expertise for you to start that business. You're bringing different things to the table. 99.9% of the time, different things are coming to the table. So the formation is going to not be 50-50. So how that comes into play, it's really, really so much time and heartache will be saved if you go through it in writing first and have it all spelled out. Then at least you're on the same page. Literally, it's written out, and you can both refer back to it and say, well, look, we agreed to this. So anyway, formation by an agreement can be verbal or in writing. I highly suggest it be in writing. It's defined or has a limited life. So unlike corporations, which have an unlimited life, partnerships end when a new partner is accepted or a partner leaves. A new partnership may be created or the partnership dissolves. So you can go into business with your buddy for 5 years and then dissolve it. You can go into business with your partner or your buddy for 5 years and then bring somebody else in and then be in business with 3 people as partners. So there's a lot of flexibility with partnership. Mutual agency is each partner is an agent of the partnership and thus can make decisions for the partnership in dealing with others such as lenders or suppliers. This partnership is bound by the action of each partner acting within the scope of the partnership activities. So it really comes down to, it's almost like a marriage. Like if your husband goes and gets some sort of loan, you are then liable for it as well. So partnerships very similar in that way, that you can have a partner that can go do something without necessarily your approval, and you're on the hook for it as well. So again, all that stuff in the written documents, the formation documents, is really important. Who can do what? More characteristics: unlimited liability. So regardless of who negotiated the debt, each partner is liable to pay it if the debt was incurred to further partnership activities. If you are considered a general partner, you are liable for the business's debt. So whatever your partner does, you can be liable for it. Non-taxable income at a partnership level. The net income of the partnership is not taxed at a federal level. Rather, the income flows to the partners who claim their share of the partnership income on their individual tax returns. So if the business makes $100,000 and the split of the profits is 50-50, then 50% goes to me, 50% goes to him, and we claim it on our taxes. It isn't the partnership itself, like R&J T-shirt company doesn't pay taxes. It flows to R&J, whoever those 2 people are, and they pay taxes on it, on their own individual taxes. Co-ownership of property in a partnership, assets are jointly owned by all partners. We share it all. Limited capital investment. Partners cannot issue stocks or bonds and are therefore limited to raising capital by contributing more to the partnership, borrowing, or taking on another partner. So it kind of limits you there on expanding, except for taking on another partner. So instead of trying to come to an agreement with 3 people, now you're trying to come up with an agreement with, say that backwards. Instead of trying to come to an agreement with 2 people, now you've just added another person that you have to come into agreement with. So it does make it a little more difficult. Participation in both income and loss. The net income or loss of the partnership is again shared by the partners based on an agreed upon percentages stated in the partnership agreement. So technically, you could have an agreement where you had one partner who gave all the money for the business, and then the other partner is working the business day to day, and the other partner just gave the money and he went on his way and is doing his own thing. So the agreement of how the net income works, the one that is working in the business all the time might get a bigger share because he's a bigger contributor to if it's succeeding or failing because he's doing the work. And then the other person is just like, well, I contributed the money and then I walked away. I'm not actually, they are actively involved. So you can have agreements written a bazillion different ways. Advantages and disadvantages of a partnership. This is just kind of boils it down a little more concisely. Potential advantages: no taxation at the partnership level, ease and lower cost of formation. I would almost disagree that it's not. If it's done right, it's not easy because you go through all of the aspects of how it's going to work right at the beginning. Combined skills and financial resources, flexibility in managing and running the business, easily changed business structure, and it's informal. Disadvantages: difficulty of ownership transfer, relative lack of oversight or regulation. So nobody's going to go yell at Bob for running up a credit card at the business that now you're liable for. It's very loosey-goosey. Number of partners needed. So you might need 5 partners to be able to come up with the money to run the business. And again, coming to an agreement with 5 partners can be difficult. Taxation is subject to individual tax rate. So it's taxed at my level. Whatever the money that flows to me, I pay taxes on it, not the business. Limited life. It's only as long as the partners are alive. Unlimited liability. So if my partner Bob runs the company truck into your building, that person can sue us. I'm liable for it. There's no protections there. Mutual agency and potential for partner disagreements, and limited ability to raise capital. So those are some big disadvantages. Types of partnership. There's a general partnership. It's an association in which each partner is personally liable to the partnership's creditors if the partnership has insufficient assets to pay its creditors. These partners are often referred to as general partners. So the buck literally stops with them. They are responsible for the loans. A limited partnership is an association in which at least one partner is a general partner, but the remaining partners can be limited partners, which means they are liable only for their own investment in the firm if the partnership cannot pay its creditors. Thus, the personal assets are not at risk. So I only contributed $25,000, I can only be liable for $25,000. A limited liability partnership provides all partners with limited personal liability against another partner's obligations. Limited liability is a form of legal liability in which a partner's obligation to creditors is limited to his or her capital contributions to the firm. So you can take these partnerships and you can go through all the steps and you can create them to protect yourselves, but it is, I disagree with the one slide that said they're easy to form. Not if you want to do it right. Not if you want to protect yourself. They are more complicated. Continuing, the advantages and disadvantages in a little more concise form on this slide makes it nice. We just went over on the slide before, so I'm not going to repeat it. And then dissolution of a partnership. Dissolution occurs when a partner withdraws due to an illness or any other reason, a partner dies, or a new partner is admitted, or the business declares bankruptcy. Whenever there's a change of partners for any reason, the partnership must be dissolved and a new agreement must be reached. The partnership can still continue operation, it only changes the document underlining the business. So it sounds terrible, like it dissolves, and then you got to start over. Yes, no. It's only in the back end, and when you see the journal entries, you see why it does that, because you kind of got to start over with a clean slate when anything changes at the partnership level. And then we have a couple think it throughs, which you are welcome to do that. But that is it for 15.1.